let's jump in with our first storyteller of the night. Please give it up for Paul Heery. Welcome, Paul.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Normally, I don't like going first at these types of things, but I decided to jump in because this gives me the opportunity to set the tone for the night. Yeah. Let me tell you about the day I was arrested for murder. Wait a minute. Before you start judging, take a look around. I'll guarantee you I'm not the only person in this room that could say that. I was 17 years old at the time. It was summertime in Philadelphia, and myself and my friends really didn't have anything to do but to hang out on the corner. Our neighborhood was a typical lower-class neighborhood. We were closely bunched together, but everybody pretty much kept to themselves, except for a group that we called the Mothers. The Mothers were annoying busybodies from the way we looked at it. They seemed to know whatever myself and my friends were up to at any given moment. This was 1974, and they had the ability to instantly communicate with one another. I don't know how they did it. I'm thinking smoke signals, but I never saw any plumes above the neighborhood. So, as mentioned, me and my friends didn't have much to do. We were bored. Some of my friends decided that they were going to spend the summer being train robbers. Now, you may have a romantic notion of people on horseback with 6 guns riding alongside a train and jumping on and robbing the train. Wasn't quite that glamorous. We had some train tracks in the neighborhood, and freight trains often stopped overnight. And my friends would go out and they would rob the freight trains. They got a lot of different booty from their exploits. It ranged anywhere from cases of Cool Whip to cases of hard liquor. Let me tell you, the neighborhood was not a pretty sight after a night of teenagers binge drinking blackberry brandy and green cream to mint. It was not pretty. So anyway, my friends were trying to convince me to join them that evening to rob a train, and I was seriously considering it. But something happened that afternoon that gave me some second thoughts. We were on the corner hanging out, and a Philadelphia police car came slowly around the corner. He flipped his lights on, jumped out of the car, leaned over the hood of his car, pointed his gun directly at me, and yelled, "Freeze." I don't know if you've ever been in that situation, but it's pretty terrifying. Am I right? So, shortly thereafter, a couple more cop cars rolled up with their lights going and their guns drawn as well. Now, the first of the Mothers arrived. Mrs. McGee got in the face of the cops and started yelling at them, saying, "What are you doing? What has he done?" I found out later that I somewhat met the description of somebody that a witness had ID'd in the murder that took place earlier during the day. Somewhat being a tall, skinny kid from Philly wearing jeans and a T-shirt with long hair. Okay, I did have hair at some point. So anyway, so Mrs. McGee's yelling at the cops. At this point, the rest of the neighborhood is there. All the Mothers are there as well. And they're constantly saying, he couldn't have done this. He's been on the corner for weeks, if not all day long. Shortly thereafter, a sergeant came in and was there to straighten things out. I'm bent over the hood of the car, and they're frisking me. They're getting ready to put the handcuffs on me, when we hear on the police radio that they actually apprehended the actual suspect. The sergeant told the cops to release me. No apologies were ever given. Now, I was in a lucky situation, And the mothers were there. Their intervention really helped me out. To this day, I do not have a police record, and that's because of the intervention of the mothers. So I think I can call them the mothers of intervention. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Whew. Strong start.